from the jungle, and if you don't know me, I'm a hangry animal, and you know that I'm hungry. We got zebras, we got gorillas, and if you try to sell, then it's thrilling.
Hey everyone, it's Angry Andy here from Hangry Animals Project. Yes, it's been a while. It's been a long while since I've done a video update, and I think now's the time that we start ramping up momentum and giving everybody in the community and whoever watches this who's interested in what we're building a little bit more insight into the project as a whole, progress, the things we've been playing with, and maybe giving some sneak peeks as to what it's looking like under the hood. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive into that. On reflection, it's been an interesting couple of months. It's felt lonely. I'm not going to lie. It's felt lonely, but we're still here and hopefully proving a few people wrong in terms of what it means to stick to your guns and just kind of build. Yes, we're probably a bit sort of stalled and a bit delayed in what we're doing, but we have had to pivot left, right, and center to make sure that what we've got is quality and what we want to kind of put out there as product is viable and has been battle tested. So, it's been a lot of pivoting. And as a founder, I think that's pretty extraordinary to be able to do that. When you realize the markets in 2020, 2021 are very much focused on the NFT itself, despite the utility and the pieces we had in play anyway. The NFT itself was the biggie, the thing that, everybody was hooked onto and the speculators wanted to kind of put out there straight away. But for us and for me as a creative and someone who wants to really put out some quality content and have something that is of the highest integrity, I think it made sense for us to pause and reevaluate what we've got and how we can grow and strengthen that as a product, as a suite of products, because Hangry Animals is not just one piece. It's not one product as such. There's the game, the comics, the build up to the animated series, the merchandise. Those toys, man. I want a set of vinyl toys to come out as soon as we're ready. So, but I thought I'd start off essentially by getting a sense of where the market's at, and we're seeing quite a few projects that are creeping back. We're seeing some interest and influx back into communities, which is great. It's the beginning of that. Some people say this is a sort of a bear trap and not a bull trap and not a bull market. So yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what's happening, but I certainly do see between founders, co-founders, and members of other projects, founders of other projects, that there's a sentiment of positivity coming back into the market and into projects. So, which is great. This cool for us. We're happy that we're still here, and we've been building throughout this whole entire bear market. So, yeah, I'm not exhausted, but I am tired as to everything that we've managed to survive through. And the next couple of months is going to be very interesting on a lot of fronts. And so let's get into that, really. This week there's been quite a few spaces. We've been presenting and pitching to some VCs because we're on an accelerator program with a project with a platform called InMind, and that accelerator program has introduced us to a lot of talent, a lot of investor groups, and connections and partnerships across the piece, including Circus and InMind themselves, who are very supportive in what they've built, and I can see that being a great relationship moving forward as we look for further rounds of investment and grow this gradually and grow it organically, as we know is the best way to do it. So, but yeah, this week's been pitching. We've been working diligently on the game development. So thinking of the asset creation. So we've now got a really cool ice cream van, which I'll share some clips of in a bit. Developing the toon shaded look and feel. So we've got, this game is going to resemble a little bit more cartoon vibe than what it would be fully 3D rendered piece. So I think it gives us a really nice stylistic edge. There's loads of games out there. I know that there is a shed ton of games that we need to sort of scale with and compete against for our gamers. So sometimes it's the visual hook, something it's a visual thing that differentiates us from any other game out there. So we've been working quite diligently with that and getting the styling of the characters down, and the zebras looking quite cool in the tests. For those in Discord and Telegram, if you scroll a bit up, you'll be able to see there's a square video clip of me just testing Sabrina's ponytail, because we want sort of dynamic physics for cloth simulation and physics of soft body items moving around in this. So it's just got some dynamism. So that's what we've been playing with. And having a lot of fun, truthfully. That the Unity side, the gaming side of it, that's brought a lot of joy to just hone in and play with that stuff. So loving it. So that's this week. This month is, we're on this accelerator program, and it's been, 2 days a week out of our week just dedicated to putting pictures together, to listening in on thought leadership programs, asking questions, making connections. So since October till the end of December, there will be more and more of these events in the week, and myself and Coinburn attending those, and it just absorbing a lot of the information that is being shared with us, which is cool. There's also been quite a few spaces. We join the community spaces a lot, and contribute where we can, support the other projects, support the other communities. Been really enjoying getting to know Fate Labs, Circus themselves. There's quite a few gaming communities on Discord that have been really helpful. I'm just reminded what the one that I've been really enjoying being part of is the Gaming Startup Collective. And you got Scribes in there, so Davey and the team from Scribe are in that channel, and it's really great insight into founders of gaming projects, founders of Web3 gaming projects that just need that kind of collective support between us. It's been super cool. So Gaming Startup Collective, thank you. It's been great to share the burden of building in a bear market with other people who get it. So absolutely loving that. This quarter, I think we're going from the micro to the macro, or the macro to the micro. This quarter has been about trying to get this origin story comic completed, and I'm pleased to say that we've now got that. Otis's origin story is now in a state of completion from an illustration, from a coloring and inking perspective. It's now on me to lay it up. So I've got to take those assets and I've got to put them inside of a program called InDesign, put the page counts on there, check all the copy, and prepare it for a digital output so we can share it with all crate holders. So we'll have a digital output, and then also prep it for a print-on-demand output, which will probably go via lulu.com, Lulu.com. They're a great comic distributor and have a massive global reach. So we'll start to put that piece of the puzzle together with Lulu. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the way it's turned out. It's not your Marvel. It's not your typical kind of big old poses, strong poses and stuff. This is very much an indie comic. The vibe is handcrafted. Nick and Lexi, who have put the majority of the interior pages together, that's what they do. That's their vibe. They try and extract a unique style and a unique vibe that fits Hangry Animals and what we're trying to create as an ecosystem. and this indie comic vibe I really, really like. So I can't wait to get that into the hands of you guys in the community, but also to get it out there on the open market as a, as a first product, if you like, because that comic just leads to a lot more stuff. We got a bit of revenue stream from that. Then comes the next comic, so on and so forth. So that's primarily the quarter for the comic, and also the game as well. So we haven't rested on our laurels, it's not just me building this game. You have to realize, and I realized a bit late in the game, I think, really, for building side of things, that you need much more people around you to help build this game. And I've managed to recruit 3 game devs who are in industry and graduates. So a nice mixture of budding graduates and industry pros who know this stuff and understand where I'm coming from, and can cope with my fleeting demands of different game asset interactions or ideas for level designs, or game mechanics on different levels. I'm really just throwing the kitchen sink at these guys on a weekly basis, but it's fun because they get it. And we got this whole dynamic curb your enthusiasm, and because we need to build the vertical slice first, and then we take it from there. So it's been great for the last 3 months now. We've been just chipping away. For those who aren't signed up to the newsletter, please sign up to the newsletter, because you'll see the progress of what we're creating inside the game itself. We got a level 1, zone 1, 2, and 3 mapped out. We're just in the middle of doing what we call a gray box level. So gray box is measured sort of meshes and boxes to represent houses and shapes and obstacles in the scene, to allow us to understand what is the flow through the game level. It's easier to do it that way than to go full hog into texturing the entire thing, and then you find out it doesn't work. So we do a gray box, we do a test, so play test with that gray box to understand what the obstacles, do we have any meshes that we can cut through and break the game or anything. And once we're confident with that, and we're confident of the character interactions, the pickups, the enemy AI, and the sort of I suppose the extremity of how hard it is to kill these enemies, and if we've got an aerial attack, if it's a ground attack, what are the pickups? There's loads to do when you're putting together a game of this kind, especially as an RPG where you're going to interact with NPCs or non-playable characters that may give you clues. They may give you suggestions of where you can go and pick up other items or extra power-ups. All of those things before we even get to the Web3 aspect of it. The token earning, the token rewards, and the NFT trait reward side of stuff. So all of those things really add up to a very complex and timely game that we've got to build that out. So comic in progress and ready to go for a full-on print game. We're not at level 1 alpha yet, but we're in a pretty good place. And the rest of December into January, we're going to see a lot more of that stuff being fleshed out. And we'll share a lot more of that as well, because it's time to start getting some validation around that build with everybody. So we'll pop a lot more stuff in the community around it. That will lead us into Q1 2024. Now, I know it's been a while. I know there's a lot of kind of questions around the NFT collection. We are going to drop an NFT collection, and whether people like it or not, you have to have product. And I can't see us releasing something without product being at least within 3 weeks, 4 weeks of being ready to drop. So once that NFT collection is there, people bag it, they hold it, they mint it, and they're holding on to it, and they join the community. And immediately there is a comic to read. There's some merchandise there. There's story aspects to contribute to feed into the game and the future iteration of the game. So it is looking like we are going to do a Q1 NFT drop. Q1 for us is likely to be out when we get out of January, when we get out of the slump and the recovery of January, which tends to be very slow in the creative sector anyway. Then we're entering into February, and I think we're going to be towards the latter half of February. We will have go time. We will launch this NFT collection, and I think that's where we're heading. And I'm looking forward to that, because now we've got some serious kind of product that I want to push. We've got a comic. We'll have 4 more comics that will follow suit. We've got the vertical slice of the game in progress, and we'll have a really good, visually delightful game slice by the end of January. So we can tease that at launch around the NFT collection. And then following on from that, obviously, we do want to launch a token and then an in-game rewards token. We know food exists. Food is good. Food is social token. Food is social proof. And we will inject the liquidity into food through the sales of the merchandise, the comics, and everything else. But we need this in-game token, similar to what the Fortnite vibe is with the V-Bucks. We need an in-game token to be able to reward people for gameplay and everything else. But I think the Hangry token is going to be a studio token. So we have ambitions. We're not just thinking one game. We have to be mindful that you have a pretty sizable piece of IP that can be exploited and used for multiple iterations of gaming. So a racing game, MMA fighting game, puzzle game, adventure platform style game. There are things within that we could potentially do multiple games of. And in that thinking, a studio token makes complete sense because people can interoperate. They can interchange between the game styles that they like, infinite runners or, sport team-based games that may not involve Hangries themselves, but possessing a Hangry will give you access to mint a free player for some of the other games and whatnot. But no, these characters work just as well in any other gaming environment. We will, and we have 4 out of the 5. The gorilla, the bear needs a bit of work as the character, and we'll absolutely have that by the end of January. So all 5 of the key OG Hangries as 3D meshes will be ready to play with when it comes to the vertical slice of the game. So yeah, lots happening, lots going on. I may not, and we may not be publishing a lot of that stuff in Discord just because it's been full on. It's been head down. Let's get that stuff communicated. And the accelerator program has taken its toll in terms of focus and time on what we can share in the community. So that's gonna turn now when it comes to being able to communicate a lot more of the stuff. I need the community's help now to just rally the troops and start thinking about what those next steps look like. The chat passes, really could really do with a bit of help in pushing the chat passes out and getting people excited about jumping in and wanting to contribute and help and have their name in the game, have some sort of opportunity to describe certain journeys of character lore. You can name NPCs, we can name buildings in the game within the zoo or the suburbs for level 2 and whatnot. So we'll be publishing a Git book which has much more details about all of those pieces that I'll share in Discord, and then people can people can jump in and contribute to that, earn some food tokens, which gives you free NFTs, which then gives you the opportunity to play in the game, give us some feedback, and earn the Hangry token from doing that. So we're gonna have some sort of allocation around that to give back to play testers for giving us that honest feedback. That's the only way this is going to grow, is by iterating. It's not going to be a boom and bust. We're going to just do it gradually and do it the right way. So tokens is coming, but we've got to do certain things in a certain order to make it viable. Team, we've got some dedicated folks around us. It may feel quiet. Manifestor's still around. Coinbin's in the background, and I'm basically pulling the ship in the right direction. Big props to the community's folks, Mike and Mickey and Bacon, Christian, Evie. It's Tricky as well, and Trey. It's been grateful. I've been very grateful to that community for just chiming in and seeing the value and seeing what we are in the midst of building. So, like I said, it can be a lonely time. It can be a lonely place when you're in the thick of it and need to get a bit more validation around the things we're building. So, team-wise, Kerry, my wife's on board to help with socials and is putting a bit of a strategy together around socials. So you may have noticed there's a lot more frequency, there's a lot more activity around that that we've been able to do, and that's not my doing. I'm too deep in the trenches to be kind of being bogged down with the social stuff. So thank you, Kerry. It's been amazing just having a second pair of hands that gets it and wants to help us build. Partnership-wise, there have been a couple of things that we've signed and agreed in terms of partnerships, and Circus being one of those. And that's a big reason, I think, for going on to these accelerator programs, is not so much to what's in it for me, but how can we help others? How can we help other projects with engagement or thought leadership in the space? And Circus, there is certainly a mutual partnership, I think, with Circus. We get it. They're building the sort of the WordPress of Web3 on steroids. That's the way they describe it. And Hangry will be using their tools to build the trait marketplace, to build the ability for us to interchange weaponry, armor, things that people have earned in the game, but they want to trade them on the open market. So Circus's tools is drag and drop. It's, Web3 native. And we own the contracts. Any themes that we design and build, we can do that. Anybody in the community that wants to build a theme for a Circus web dApp or a Telegram mini app, then you can find ways to monetize your creations through Circus's platform. So super excited about that, and can't wait to get the bones of a marketplace in place, ready for February. We've got two other partnerships that I can't announce yet because I'm just waiting for the signatures on them, but one of which I think is going to be a game changer in terms of NFTs. They call them IVNs, so they're intrinsic value NFTs, and it means that at mint you have a proportion of the mint fee locked into the asset itself. So you could look at it as unruggable, yet to be proven, but the ability for an NFT to have its own floor price, and it's not impacted by the floor price of the entire collection. The value of your NFT still has a minimum value, and it's 50% of the initial mint fee. So if you've got an NFT that mints for $100, then immediately your NFT is never going to be less than $50 in terms of its value. And I think that's super cool. But other things that these guys have managed to do and create is the ability for you to attach other NFTs to the IVN, 721s or 1155s, 6551s, so token bound, tokens, ERC20s, all of those inside of an IVN. And I think this is definitely a game changer that we want to lock in, that's what technology we utilize for the launch of the collection, because the way the markets are, the way the sentiment is moving towards utility, towards product, and away from JPEG receipt. We need to move with the times, and we need to recognize that if we're going to build something of value, then we need to maintain that value through the asset that is the gateway into the product, the gateway into the platform, and into the ecosystem that we're building. So IVNs, I think, are going to be a major game changer, because it takes away a lot of the worry around what's going to happen to the collection once there's a buy and then there's a massive sell-off, that it can't go to zero in that respect, because each of the NFTs themselves have a minimum price of 50% of the overall original mint price. But the other things that are really interesting about it is that if someone else buys and sells, then there's the ability to put in some form of tax to incentivize that every other NFT in that collection gets a small trickle of that tax, transactional tax, and the buys and sells. If someone burns the NFT, then there's mechanisms in which that burn mechanism gets a value distributed throughout the rest of the collection. So it's an appreciating asset, more so than what NFTs have been before. So game changer for us, and I think I'm really looking forward to implementing and announcing this kind of partnership. We have got one other, which is desktop gaming related platform. So the ability to earn when players transact between different games. So if we inherit a gamer, we get paid that the gamer has come to our platform. Once that gamer leaves, we also get paid a fee, because the platform that they go on to, we get a rebate or sort of a kickback for that player transacting to another platform. That's pretty much a desktop web app iteration, and we're just penning the announcements on that side of it before I can mention it. We're NDA'd, so I can't say too much at this stage, but that's going to be a game changer, because 400 million users for these kind of platforms. So and the one we're going with is got some massive backing, and valuation is 70 million, going to be 150 million plus for the business. So right up our street. And that's aside from Simplio. So Simplio, obviously, for those that haven't been following the newsletter or anything, Simplio.io is an app which has a Web3 focused gaming rollout. So we will deploy an app version, a mobile device version of the Hangry Animals game onto the app. And it's a platform where you can interchange tokens. So obviously we need tokens within our game to purchase assets and purchase items. And, the NFT itself is the access pass. So it's a token locked or a gated experience. Simplio allows players to exchange the tokens that people need in order to jump into the game, so that they have multiple games on their platform. So you can interchange what token you need to jump into the game. So they have an exchange, tradable token exchange platform inside the app. You can do NFT purchases, trades, and NFT purchase and sales in the app as well, and play the games. So we're covering off the app mobile device side of the industry, and then also the desktop, the Steams, the downloadable DLC downloadable content side of the wider world of gaming. Because I think it's going to go one of either way. I think if the mobile one takes off, then we're going to put some heavy investment and thought into that, and then gradual updates and iterations in the mobile space. But equally, those that like playing on a web-based platform, you have the ability to earn as well. So we're trying to capture a really nice wide audience where we can. So that's that. We've got the IVN stuff coming together, and I'm working on one more, because we're in the Web3 world right now, but I think there's a lot of sentiment that we also need to consider the Web2 world. Merchandise, comics, attendance at Comic-Cons and gaming events, that we will have a physical presence at those. But we've got this overarching bigger picture vibe that's happening and has been at the heart of Hangry Animals from the start. It may not seem like that, it may not feel like that, but this is about education. It's about animal welfare and well-being and the education around that, and finding ways in which we can incentivize players to reward, feel like they're giving back and feel like they're doing some good through something that they enjoy doing. Because in the research that we've done and the pitch deck that we're utilizing for the VC demo day, which is on Monday, in the demo day, we're obviously presenting Hangry Animals as a gaming for good platform where you play and donate. So a portion of what you kind of use as your member pass, your NFT or member pass, a portion of those proceeds get drawn into a treasury. And each player plays on behalf of a charity. If the player is at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the season, then we have a really nice pot of tokens to be able to donate to the charity of the player that is at the top of the leaderboard. So yeah, this play to donate and play and donate mechanism is something we're really getting behind, because we think it's a means to shift some of the sentiment around gaming and charitable donations together, and that I think is a really good cause. But in that, we're obviously onboarding 5 charities, and I'm in talks with 2 charities right now to be able to announce those probably January now. So in the ramp up to the mint, I think there will be some good announcements from animal welfare charities that are in war-torn countries that are rehoming and rescuing animals from some really serious dark places, and then impact at home, how we can impact and how we can influence a better flow of donations to sustain rescuing dogs and cats in the UK. We've got to look at my back door, got to look at what's around us and how we can impact that first, and then we'll grow from there. So lots of things going on. And I thought, what better way to do that than in a video update where people can see my ragged face and how much gray has got into my beard, and that I've still got a smile on my face because I'm loving this. And hopefully you will see the fruits of our labor and the fruits of your labor for sticking with it and supporting what we're doing. People can see there's some updates on the website, which let me share where we got here. Yes, gaming for good. There we go. So we obviously got the website. Homepage changed a bit. There are plenty of stuff on here, given some new, like the 2D style, I think is what I'm enjoying now. It's just got this cartoony vibe that I've always liked from the start. We will have a a nice teaser show reel in there because what's happened as well over the last 2 months is that we've applied for 2 grants with our country. We've got some grant programs in Wales that have incentivized creatives to want to, do animation pieces and gaming platforms and stuff. So myself and Kerry have put together a really good bid for creating of an animated trailer for Hangry Animals, because as we've communicated from the off, this is a multitude of pieces of IP, one of which being a 26 episode animated series about the characters coming to terms with their change, and that really appeals to a tween audience and then upwards. But tweens are, a little bit of a confused audience right now who are just finding that adulthood and kidulthood and the merger of those two things being a struggle. You start to understand body image, you start to understand the dynamics of social dynamics and social cues, gender, sexual orientation, really everything that gets thrown at you at pace for tweens in our day and age, especially with the social media onslaught. So there's a lot of sentiment around that within the story and everything we're building. Obviously, I've done all the covers for the origin stories for the characters, and there's 3 of them there. And then I did a little bit of work in terms of like meet the Hangry Animals, meet the characters, and updated the NFTs in terms of illustrations. So we've got a couple of the older ones there. The bear's changed, obviously. The moose has always been the crazy moose, but all good. Merchandise. So we do have a merchandise store. It's a little bit understocked at the moment because I don't know why. When you go to the merch store, it looks like all of the images are not being pulled across from Printful. So a little bit of work to do there in time for January, but yeah, it won't take too long. And as you can see, we've added a couple of people there. So you know who I am, Coinburn, Manifesto hangs around in the community. Terry is the script writer with me. So a lot of the animated content for the storylines gets written by me and Terry for the 5 origin stories, and then the first major adventure, which would be the graphic novel as well as the basis for the animated series. Susan O has been around in the community and mainly on socials advocating for Hangry Animals and our animal welfare side of things. And then Gwilym is a fantastic graphic designer who's helping me put the visual and the vibe of Hangry Animals together. So yeah, he's with us and enjoying the journey so far. But yeah, lots in there, lots of things. Member passes, we all know what the chat is. And I wanted to explain a little bit to those who possess a crate why we created this member pass for, as an NFT collection, right? The crates were created using OpenSea's contracts. So when it comes to token gating anything, we're using OpenSea's smart contract addresses, and you can't token gate too much of that because that would mean the entirety of OpenSea would be able to get token gated into our products and stuff. So in order to avoid that, we generated Chet passes as our own contract to be able to control and limit who we release this to, what IDs, so Chet is number 1, what ID can actually access stuff. And as we release more and more of those for different reasons and different means, then obviously crate holders will get all of those future NFTs for at a discount or free for the majority of them, like I wanted to do. So there's a reason for that, and I just wanted to explain it. It's not because we're just trying to get more cash and get more, just get more out of people. The chat exists because it needed to transfer a smart contract over to something that we could control much more than OpenSea's own contracts. That's not to say that, the numbers have upped on this, because, there's obviously a moment where a cash injection would really help, just accelerate some things forward. 1,000 NFTs at a fee of $30 gives us nigh on 22, 23K. I could then commission the second comic to get up and running straight away. And we've got some marketing budget there to push the NFT collection out and into people's feeds. So that's a big reason why, and I just wanted to explain that, because there may be some questions around that. Okay, so that's the NFT. I've spoken for quite a lot. Hopefully those are still listening in, and if you are, appreciate you sticking with it. I was going to show just a small amount of the game, so people can see where we're at with the level. So if I go into this, you can see now where I've got the guys have been building out. This is all gray box, so people can see what a gray box level looks like. There's a tool in Unity called the Unity Pro Builder, and we've created some of these level ideas. We've got this central forecourt, which will be the beginning of where we land at the start of each level. So it'll spin you off onto different areas. But essentially, this is this is a zoo where the alien ship will crash land in the zoo, and what you're seeing here is zone 1 of the level. So let me just press play. It may be janky, it may be a little bit stuttery, but I'll replace it with the proper playback. So we can see Otis here is very toon shaded, and I wanted to make him toon shaded so there's slightly different from a lot of the games you see out there. There is a game called Hi-Fi Rush, and I love it. Hi-Fi Rush is wicked. It's all about like timing. It's all about cadence of how you attack and how you do things. So it's very musical based. I think it's the follow-on for Jet Set Radio. So yeah, this is just the testing ground for Hangry Animals. So we have a fully 3D open world experience where I can run around, I can punch the aliens, I can earn and gain force fields. I can follow through and say, whoop, right, we're in the next bunch of dudes. Let's get some of these aliens out of the way. We're going to have, obviously, overlays of punch. Oh, there's another one. Quick. We're going to have some punched overlays and things that, special effects that sit over the top, like in Spider-Verse, when you got all those like half-tone punches and swoops and stuff. No music, obviously. We need special effects for music. We need background music, which we've obviously got through Crypto Bum with the mini rap album that he kindly created for us. So we will be utilizing some of that throughout the game. So we've got this like hip hop vibe. And then, yeah, we can just continue to kick some alien ass. So, we got some punchies. It's all good we got a single punch move at the moment, but Otis will have more moves. So the ability to crouch and punch, the ability to kind of jump and roundhouse kick and stuff. I think he can do that anyway. Jump, yes. So we jump up, kick. So we can do stuff like that. But as it stands, we're building out how we explore the game. Enclosures. So all of these enclosures will have animals in them. And the aim of the game will be to rescue the animals from the attempted abduction by these aliens of the animals. So there's a big animal requirement in the game that you don't see yet because there's literally 0 animals. We've just got the aliens in here to test the ground. When you get to certain areas, we have these time jump aspects. So once you get to doors, you have the ability to jump through doors and get to different parts of the level. Hopefully it's not too stuttery, but I'll check it back later. So earning points, kicking alien butt, and fighting your way through the level. But this alien's not going to give up, is he? All right. He's gone. He gone. Let's get some force field action going on. Force fields last for about 5 seconds, so they help you with being attacked by multiples. So it does help to have a force field around you at times. The aliens will be slightly harder to kick around once we get into it. Ooh, enter to interact. This is new, guys. I haven't seen this bit before. Ooh, I see. Right, so there's a gun on a pillar quite far away. Let's click E to come back out. So where's that guy? Oh, I see. It's over in the distance over there. There's a monorail. How cool. And then we can see down there, look, there's some big beastly dude that we obviously need to take care of. So let's do it. Let's get down. Let's go down the stairs and swing around. Now, I was saying earlier about an ice cream truck. Look at that beautiful ice cream truck. I know, it's gorgeous. It's a punchable ice cream truck that throws out food. So it's a food truck, not an ice cream truck. But I'll replace it as an ice cream truck. But food gives you energy. So we're collecting some food pieces. I need to make sure that when they throw them out, that they don't all get bunched underneath the tables, so you can't collect them. So we need to work on that kind of stuff. All part of the debugging process. Right, so we've got some couple of aliens that recognize you at short notice, and we will improve the amount of kind of the detection radius that these aliens have when it comes to like kicking your ass. And watch this. I like this bit because this big beastly alien has a wider detection rate. So it's gone in through that door over there. And then you start coming around here now. And it is on your ass. So you got to run and jump. Let's get him. Punch him. Pitch. Push, push. I died. Oh, well. So it ain't easy. It ain't easy. Anyway. This is what we're building. This is like early doors with the zebra, moose, and a short hippo for some reason within our game. I'm looking forward to developing the rest of this throughout the month. So that's progress. Then the last thing, I think, just wanted to show a little bit of a detailed bit of what the comic book pages are looking like. So the Otis himself had a really dark shadow work, and I've lightened it massively because it was like this. Yeah, it was too dark, and it just looked a little bit, it was too in your face. So I've gone ahead and asked the guys to reduce it to around the 40% mark, and it just sits way back now with the character. And as you can see, militarized. Otis is in charge here. He's the boss, and looking to negotiate and collaborate with the EDFUF, which is the Earth Defense Force United Forces. Hopefully that comes across, and it looks really cool. I like what's been done anyway. So yeah, in terms of everything that's going on, we have a lot. We don't do many competitions and ways to win USDC or anything at the moment. Into the new year, we want to do a little bit more of that with the food token and the ability to earn one of the chat passes, which, for those that don't know, the chat pass will give you an NFT at 50% of the mint price. To all crate holders, don't worry about that. You're getting 4 NFTs at this point anyway. The chat pass gives you an NFT at 50% of the mint price. So, you know, for those who want to speculate, crack on. Because you buy a $30 chat pass and you're going to get a $50, $60 NFT at the point of mint. So yeah, that's me rambled enough for this week. Don't forget to sign up to the newsletter. We have a lot of information coming through from the newsletter. And for those who want to keep up to speed with the game development, I'm posting grabs and I'm posting kind of progress as to what we're doing each week. So I've got to write one tomorrow, and that will involve an ice cream truck and a little bit more information on the physics dynamics of what I've been playing with the zebra. And then I got the moose's dressing gown to sort as well, which is a lot more complex in terms of fluid dynamics or cloth dynamics. Sorry. That's it. That's us. We're starting to ramp up a weekly schedule of activity and content that we want to share and release there. Forgive me if it's not as frequent as what it should be. Timings and the accelerator program is just taking a lot of my energy away, and it is me on my Todd most of the time doing this. So thank you for sticking it out and for watching and for supporting what we're building here. So appreciate you all. I'll catch you in the community very soon.